What we've got this week as coronavirus breaks out throughout the world is the new 2020 Subaru Impreza. This Impreza's been with us for a couple of years now, and Subaru have decided that what they do is give it a little bit of a refresh. It's got restyled lights and a restyled grille. It's got new alloys as well, which Subaru says gives it a great new road presence. It's had all sorts of changes made to suspension, it's quieter, they say it handles better. Of course, Impreza has smart locking and unlocking, as well as drive-away locking, one of the new things that was added. There are 4 models in the lineup. It's the 2 litre, the L, Premium and S. Pricing starts at $23,740 for the L sedan, with $200 more for the hatch. Topping at the S for $31,160, another $200 for the hatch. There's just one engine and one transmission. And some of the updates that Impreza has received: SI drive across all models, a reprofiled grille, front bumper and fog light design. All hatch variants have a smoked rear finish combination light design. The Premium has blind spot monitor, lane change assist, rear cross traffic alert, automatic reverse braking and front view monitor. The S has updated headlights, auto power folding mirrors with dipping for reverse, front view monitor, side view monitor, memory driver's seat, stitched MFD visor and piano black air conditioning control surround. You access all doors with the button or handles, and inside there's a lot of space for a car this size. There's a light and some tie downs, though as you can see the floor isn't completely flat. The second row seat belt is stashed away here. It goes over the top of the middle seat, but most of the time we don't use the middle seat, so it's stashed out of the way where it won't do anybody any harm. Of course there's the obligatory ISOFIX spots as well, place to put that baby capsule should you need it. There's a holder here for the rear seat belt, and the glide away curtain can be taken out if you don't want to use it. Rear space when the seat is set up for me, and I'm 6 foot, is absolutely amazing. There must be 5 centimeters or more. The seats are in this leather or leather-like material with matching stitching. The cabin has a comfy, cozy feel to it. And you can see there's so much space in the front. This car's much bigger inside than you'd expect it to be. There's oodles of space, and I'm so comfortable sitting here. And the driver's seat has electric adjustment. I particularly like the trim on the doors too. I think that's a nice touch. Lower down on the driver's door are the obligatory mirror and window controls. On the lower dash you can turn the blind spot monitor off and the stop start off. Of course, these Subarus have push button start. On the steering wheel you can turn the lane control on and off. There's active cruise control, which also has a Q function, and the audio functions on the other side, which includes Apple CarPlay. This graphic is particularly clever. When you've got the active cruise control on, it even shows when your brake lights are on. As well, there's a digital speedo. In the center there's another particularly good multifunction display, as well as the audio unit with a touch screen. By pressing the app button, you can go into Apple CarPlay when it's connected. Below that, the air conditioning controls and a little cubby hole. There's the seat heating, electric brake and auto hold for traffic, so that when you're in traffic you put your foot on the brake, come to a stop, you can take your foot back off again and it won't move, whether the active cruise control is going or not. Of course, this version has a sunroof. The dash I think is particularly successful. It's nice and simple, and the surfaces are very, very soft. This is a stroke of genius. This is a matte finish, so there's nothing on the top to shine in your eyes in the afternoon sun. The only shiny finish is here on the audio unit. This rattly old bridge, it's just had some boards replaced. But here in the National Park, it's the sort of thing that you're going to want to do in your Subaru. It's brilliant at this, absolutely brilliant. The handling is just superb. Cornering, excellent. Quietness, just amazing. Going over the weir. And as you come up and ascend through these fairly tight bends. It's going to switch to iDrive, or should I say SI drive. So it's now in the slightly more sportier mode. While it doesn't change the suspension, it keeps the gears lower and the engine revs slightly higher. And when I say gears, I don't mean gears in the traditional sense of the word. This is a CVT, so this 115 kilowatt flat 4 engine has a CVT attached to it, which is a constantly variable transmission. And left in normal mode, it just adjusts the revs to whatever it thinks the engine should be for the driving conditions. When you put it into S mode, it simulates gears in a normal automatic transmission. Either way, the driver doesn't have to touch a thing. When you're in normal mode, it just hums along in the lowest possible revs, and that saves on fuel, apparently. It's just ripping through these corners. It's just superb. There's not a whole lot of difference between this and the sportier Subarus like BRZ and WRX. They of course have considerably more power, but I think Impreza is proof that you don't have to have a lot of power to have a lot of fun. This is brilliant. The other thing is there's lots and lots of bottle and cup holders. Bottle holders in the doors, the back ones are particularly large. They're brilliant for long trips. And in fact, this car is brilliant on a long trip. Not that I'm going on a long trip particularly, but you get the idea. Now we're up to speed, well, we're doing 80 at least, and you can see over here, the orange light, that means there's a car coming up beside me. Clever old Subaru has autonomous emergency braking, going both forward and backwards, and it will also detect vehicles, pedestrians and cyclists. Part of Subaru's construction methods have high tensile steel in certain parts of the body. Not only that, there's this enormous knob on the back door so that the door doesn't come open in an accident. One thing I like particularly is the speed sign recognition. And that's one of the things that Subaru does particularly well. It's very proud of its twin camera eyesight system. We've talked about it in other videos. It also uses that for the smart cruise control. I particularly like the reversing camera. Here's some footage of me backing out in an underground car park, and you can see that the forward-facing camera on the passenger side shows you really clearly what you can't see if you're in the driver's seat. The graphic in the multifunction display above is showing me the time, air conditioning temperature, and the current outside temperature, as well as the status of the car. They also have high beam support. The ride on this not very well kept road, there's a lot of construction going on, is absolutely sensational. But the good thing is, the ride and handling characteristics are the same, regardless of what model you've got. It's just trim level. I think Impreza is a very impressive car. Did you see what I did there? Impressive? It's an Impreza. Anywho, remind me not to tell that one again sober. It's received a few updates, which I think have done it credit, though. Like I said, I think it was good enough as it was. All in all, we really rate this. It's incredibly safe. It's got a 5-star safety rating, and it's got lots of gadgets. Best of all, it's great on the road. And if you've liked the film, make sure you leave a comment, hit like, and just there to subscribe.